Okay, so this is my JG MP5 DSG build. I'll start off the compression parts here. I have an SHS O-Ring Air Nozzle, and that's on the stock JG cylinder head, which has 2 O-rings, which is pretty good for stock. And on that I have an Airpad, which is there for correcting the angle of engagement, as well as dampening the sound and absorbing the impact from the piston head. And yeah, this is just the stock JG piston head. I was going to change it out, but it turned out this already had bearings on it, which is pretty good, and I just attached that to a blue SHS piston. Here I had most of the teeth grinded off to save some weight, and I have the a full cylinder without any holes in it, and that's what you want in DSG. You want to save as much of the air volume as possible, because you're already losing a lot of the air from just having 8 teeth instead of 16. This came off an Aries Amoeba, so that doesn't really matter. As long as you have a full barrel, or sorry, a full cylinder, you should be okay in terms of air volume and your FPS. Moving on to the gears, I have an SHS DSG, which is really good for the price. It's really durable. It hasn't broken yet, and I've used this quite heavily for the past few months. I have been running it on a fairly weak spring. I believe it was an M140 with a few spring spacers, but now I have an M190, so I'm not so sure what the FPS is going to be now, but it has been running pretty well with very minimal signs of wear, really. The other 2 gears are just the stock JG 18-to-1 gears. They're pretty okay. They've been running well, and it's an MP5 trigger because it's an MP5, and I do have the hair trigger modification done to this, which is actually pretty impressive. I didn't expect it to go really well, to be honest, but it's pretty impressive. I do have like a 3mm trigger pull, and the shot goes off. The one downside to having a mechanical trigger, though, especially with a DSG, if you're going to be spamming semi-automatic on a mechanical trigger system, your cutoff lever is going to wear out pretty quickly, like mine did. As you see here, this is the stock JG cutoff lever. It did wear out, so my semi-automatic has recently turned into like 2, 3, 4 round burst, so I can't really use it indoor anymore. I had to go out and buy a Lonex cutoff lever, which you can tell here is not worn out, it's brand new. I'm gonna have to put this in here right after the video. And yeah, the spring guide is actually really, it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's not ball bearing, but it tries to be one. It's basically 2 pieces. Just put a bunch of grease in there, you slide it on, and it spins around. So that's pretty cool. I was gonna change it out, but once I saw this, I just saved $15 by not trading it out, basically. Pretty good. And I do have a DIY Mosfet here. It's just based on a 3034 Mosfet. It does what it's supposed to. Nothing that special about it. Yeah. So I do have it wired to Dean's, and the gearbox is also radiused. The JG version 2 gearboxes are really durable. If you guys take a look at the shell on this thing, it is really well fortified at the front. Like, there's a lot of metal. They put a lot of metal on here to avoid the cracking. And I also radiused it just to make it even more durable. So yeah, this is the basically what I have for my DSG build in my MP5. I'll put the complete parts list down below if you want to take a look at that. And yeah, we'll move on to the shooting test. My bad, guys. So one thing I did forget to mention was the tappet plate. You do have to cut a few coils off the tappet plate spring. This will just help the tappet plate and air nozzle return faster. I've cut out about 2. I believe I cut 2 coils down. and this is gonna help with your feeding, and also your tappet plate. You need to shave this down here. I got mine shaved down to 10 millimeters, so basically 1 centimeter from the bottom here to right here. So from here to here is 1 centimeter, or 10 millimeters. You are gonna have to kind of tweak around with it and see what's gonna work for you. My build is currently running at I believe 35 RPS, which is kind of low for a DSG, but again, I am using it for the trigger response and semi-automatic only, so that doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, if you guys needed to know, it is 10 millimeters from here to here. Alright, now let's go to the shooting test. Okay, so it turns out the new Lonex cutoff lever wasn't compatible with the Hair Trigger JG trigger assembly, so I just swapped it out with a brand new SHS trigger, and works fine now. So let's give it a shot here. Go for semi. Pretty cool. Full auto. Yep. So yeah, there we go.